Good morning and welcome in to this edition of Blue Sky Live. Chase Parham and Neal McCready. Going remote this morning for a couple different reasons. That's okay. We're here with you. You're here with us. Appreciate you as always jumping on and starting your morning with us here at MPW Digital and Blue Sky. It is a day off for us pertaining to Ole Miss football, but not a day off. Got plenty of content up 24/7 sports, including a story this morning on Keith Carter's new salary. We'll talk about that on the show. We'll talk about plenty other football topics and more coming up on uh, on Blue Sky Live today. Blue Sky brought to you every day across the state of Mississippi. They have Sweet Daddy's locations at most of those stops. So whether you're stopping in for fuel, clean convenience stores, good service, and more, or you want some catering options, they will take care of you there with Blue Sky and Sweet Daddy's. No matter the size of the group, they'll have it wrapped up, ready to go, and waiting on you with whatever you need: sides, main courses, desserts, and plenty more. And I see Mr. McCready's in the Clarkford studio.
I am. Clark Ford is in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number to call. Call it. Ask for our friend Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you are looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. Right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit campbellclinicoxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
Andre, appreciate you here this morning. You crack me up with the Golden Corral stuff every time you do it, including a question for my mailbag this week. I hate we don't have one closer because I would call them and ask if we could go live there and get Neal to try a different section of the buffet every like 20 minutes during the show. You start with like the fruit and the salad. I'm sure it's real fresh, and then you move on to the chicken and the gravy and the biscuits, and then you go to the sushi section of the buffet, and then you move through from there and finish it up. I hate we don't have one closer. Sucks.
I hate to. That sucks. That's terrible. It's awful.
And then you get the chocolate fountain at the end. You can put whatever you want under the chocolate fountain.
And I'm sure people have.
Oh, that's a good question. What do you think the strangest thing somebody's put under the chocolate fountain from the Golden Corral buffet?
I don't want to think about it.
Would it be like a fried food or would it be something else?
Oh,
a tuna roll?
Oh, God.
Oh, how are you today? One day away.
Oh, I'm good. I feel like I have I'm on about like mile 24 and a half, 25 of a marathon. It's the same kind of feeling, like gonna make it. Excited to get there. We'll get to talk a whole lot about it tomorrow. It's been. I'm incredibly thankful that that I did not have to wait until November the 1st. Now that I've been through.
You think that would have been problematic?
I think it would have been bad for my mental health. Yeah, I do. I think it would have been. Yeah, I think it would have been incredibly difficult.
Nick says we have a Golden Corral in Horn Lake. That's not that far away. That's proximity wise close enough. I asked ChatGPT a second ago what from the Golden Corral buffet would be the strangest or potentially worst thing, and they said a big slice of blue cheese from the Golden Corral buffet was what ChatGPT came up with.
Yeah, I was more thinking somebody might pull something out of one's bag or purse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just not cafeteria stuff is not my cup of tea. It never has been.
You said you as a kid you went to what, Piccadilly?
Yeah, and but that was different because people served you. So it was a little different. It was more like, but I remember like even in elementary school, I hated going to the cafeteria. Going down the line. once I got to like high school,
Are you anti-buffet
I'm not a buffet person at all.
because of germs?
Yeah, just the
The
food
food
sitting.
under the heat lamp?
Yeah, and everybody just there's a lot.
Okay.
Are you?
I don't prefer it, but I'm not like gonna avoid it necessarily either. Now I'm careful about what I get. Uh, where do you fall in food courts? You're good on food courts because it's still grabbing from a restaurant,
Yeah.
in
I mean, I
theory.
can't remember the last time I went to one. I mean, I've had people say I'm weird about food, and I guess I am. I try not to I try not to emphasize food as a big experience. Does that make sense?
Yes,
I really on a day-to-day basis try to mentally treat food as just fuel.
that's true.
Like I try not to be like, okay, well, I'm looking forward to we're going to have this tonight. I've just found that's not good for my physical health.
That's a conscious change that really has been going on since 2009
Yeah,
to
I
some
think so.
degree.
I think so.
Because you started the P90X the day after the Virginia Super Regional, right?
Yes,
Is that correct?
that is correct.
You
I
did
told myself
that. You hated Tony Horton, and Tony became your best friend.
he did. I wrote him a long letter, and he responded. Actually,
I wonder how many letters
I,
Tony got. I bet he got a lot of letters back in the day.
I bet he did. I bet he did. I mean, all jokes aside, with Tony Horton, it was like once I completely just went, all right, man. You know what? I'm going to do the things you say to do. I'm just going to do it. I'm not because people would be like, oh, the guy's a goob or whatever, and I was like, yeah, you know what? But I'm in this room by myself. No one sees me. Literally, no one but me saw me do P90X. And so I
And
was
if
like,
we're honest, and I don't, and I mean this because I have a little bit of this too, so I'm there with you. If we're honest, it's the one way you would have gotten the weight off because you never would have gone at that point to a gym or a class in public.
100%. I would never
So,
have gone. I would never have done those types of classes in public. I never would have gone to a yoga class in public at 260 something pounds.
mm-hmm.
No chance. Zero chance. Would never have done it. And I just started doing. And I mean, I'd yell at him. But after a while, I was like, oh, this is kind of working. And now I'm just listening to him. If he's like, do the Superman thing, I was like, okay, Superman, here we go. I mean, I'm going to do it. And he would say, write it down. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to write it down. And before you know it, like it was working. And then after that, I was like, this is my guy. I mean, this guy, he changed my life. He did.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
I love our stream. They are going deep into buffets across the state of Mississippi right now. We got all kind of responses and answers um, in this thing. Yeah, I don't. I've told this. We used to do like Ryan's or Barnhills all the time. We were on like golf trips in high school because that's where the coach always wanted to stop was Ryan's or Barnhills. So we had those all the time. That was the thing. I'm curious. I look. Maybe it was somebody else. Maybe it's a burner. But a lot of mornings, there's a Twitter account that likes our podcast that is the username Eugene Brasley with his picture. I wonder if that's the former running back. I mean, I don't know why you would necessarily use him as your burner per se, but it's on there a couple times. So I don't know. If so,
I don't
hello Eugene. Good to hear
know,
from you.
man. Hope you're
Yeah.
doing well.
If it's a burner, good. Hello to you too. Appreciate you as well. Whoever you
Yeah.
you
I mean,
you are hidden behind the
it's
screen.
fascinating. It's a fascinating choice if that's a burner.
I know. I'm really kind of
You know, I mean,
puzzled. Oh, I
nothing
don't know.
against Eugene, but I mean, that would be an interesting choice.
That would be about as random as you could get. Down the list of random, that would get really
Yeah.
random.
Yeah.
So schedule a little bit, and then we'll jump into the topics for the day because it's a little bit of a lighter day, even though I got some stuff. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. We're just all just friends chilling here this morning. Back at it tomorrow from a viewing standpoint. We get practice viewing in the morning. Neil and I will both be in attendance for that. We will have some level of observations from the period that is available to the media, the half hour or whatever it is. And then someone from 24/7 Sports or multiple people from 24/7 Sports will be at the interview process tomorrow. I do not know exactly what that's going to look like yet. We will figure it out.
And
And
it's
then Neil and I,
just
yeah, it's just
players tomorrow,
players, right? That's what I
not
mean.
lane.
And then Neil and I will have a podcast at some point tomorrow afternoon for you. We will stream that podcast from the Clark Ford studio at some point tomorrow afternoon. My guess is mid-afternoon, somewhere in there. Kind of got to get caught up, make sure that everything's sort of done for the day. But that is the plan there. Yes, it is a Thursday, not typically what we do from a stream standpoint. Jeffrey back next week. See a couple of people mentioning that, but that is our plan for tomorrow. So just be aware of that as we move forward and kind of get this new era up and running. Because yeah, not only are you not having to wait to October, but you also,
November.
well, it's true. You
Yeah.
also have had it known. It wasn't like you're trying to keep some crazy secret for 90 days either. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been. I mean, the other network put it out themselves, so you had the ability to do that.
They did. They put it out. I mean, we'll talk about this tomorrow. I've got lots and lots of thoughts. None of them are really negative. They're all inquisitive / positive. But it will be freeing to be able to just be candid, because I feel like we've always been pretty damn transparent and candid here.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had to be careful, and I'm that has been a little tiring, honestly. And I will say that if you like to read tomorrow, you should block off some sections of time to read tomorrow.
Yeah. I do hate a little bit we didn't have a Jeffrey show today, given the context of some media opportunities that have occurred this week with around the SEC football landscape.
I mean, can we just go there right now?
Why not?
You know, it's my first sign that I'm not sure that Hugh is well.
Oh, what we got?
You're sitting there at a press conference and you're talking to media. You know you're being recorded. I mean, there's no secret there. And you say that you have to have length and girth to play in this league. Listen, I know the sports information director at Auburn, Kirk Sampson, is a great friend of mine.
Is it still Kirk? Okay.
I think it's still Kirk.
Okay.
Kirk's still there. Kirk was the assistant SID back in the day when I was on the Auburn beat. He's great people. Just a fantastic guy. And by the way, Kirk's lost a lot of weight. Looks great last time I saw him. Anyway, there's no way that somebody there didn't go, "What are you doing?" It tells me that he's out of control again. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, that is such a stupid sentence to say, knowing that you're just walking into the jokes. That's what he said, joke.
Because here's the thing that gets me, and I don't understand, and I mean this sincerely. I mean, there's all the jokes to make, and frankly, Lane let him off light compared to Lane's previous shots or comments or quote tweets that have happened. A simple shrug or head drop or whatever it was that he did was kind compared to where that could have gone at the moment. But here's what gets me is we've talked about just normal vernacular, and look, we've been covered in it with the whole Inside the Rebels thing over the last few weeks as we make our jokes and not make our jokes and the whole deal, including me yesterday. I appreciate all the texts from buddies who just like sent me ... about the start of the show. It was fine. And Will Hawk 22 is right here. Saying length is a completely normal football term in every way. We talk about size speed ratio. I mean, I had a post yesterday talking about some players that could increase their production this year versus last year. And I said, hey, I've always believed in Chris Graves because of the length he has at the cornerback position and the ball skills that he has. I
Yeah.
like Chris Graves. I think eventually he
Yeah.
pops. I could be
Yes.
wrong, but that is one of the reasons why I gave. But using the word girth, and again, I'm not making any joke here, is really just confusing and stupid and perplexing to me because that's in no way part of the lexicon for a football player. So why?
No.
Like, I seriously, as you're saying, I kind of, if I were Kevin, if I were Kirk or somebody, you come off the lectern and you go, just explain it to me. Why?
Yeah,
What
but
are you doing?
why? Yeah, length is fine. I mean, we're used to that in sports. You know, in basketball, it's a common term. Hey, man,
Yes.
that team has a lot of length, which means that's a team that can extend their arms into passing lanes, get a lot of
Yes.
deflections, that type of thing. But I've never heard a basketball coach go, you know, this team has a lot of length and a lot of girth. What? I might even hear this team has a lot of size.
Sure.
This is a big team. This is a team that takes up a lot of paint. But it's almost like that is a use of a word that was almost intentional for all of the innuendo and the puns. And this from a guy who lost his job at an SEC school because of massage parlors, essentially, or personal masseuses that.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, come on, you know. And
Yeah.
crazy. Knowing you're embattled right now, and you are embattled, you disagree, Chase, and I respectfully am telling you you're wrong. You're so wrong. This guy's
I know. Whoa. I don't think he's not embattled. I just am having a completely difficult time with playoff or out. Like, not that it's wrong. It's just when you step back and go, what?
That's fine. I'm just letting you know that I've told you this for a few months, and you're always like, I don't know, and I'm just telling you I'm right. He blows this season anything less than 9-3, and I'm telling you he's in trouble. And 9-3's weird if it's the wrong 3, depending on what those 3 look like. It's just a different place.
Alabama, Georgia, Texas A&M.
I mean, it's tough. Your biggest win's Oklahoma at Auburn.
Yeah. Yeah.
If Alabama let's say Alabama and Georgia both go to the playoffs. I'm not saying they will. Just saying in a world where they do, it's going to be hard.
It's why I was fairly serious about that live stream on Friday, because I find that Baylor game fascinating in every way.
Yeah, I mean, I can do it. I mean,
no.
I'm here.
I'm with you. I mean, it's not even funny or jokes. It's just, wait, what's up? You all right?
Yeah. Why are you steering into these things? You know, it's like the golf thing. Anybody that truly begrudges the man for playing golf is silly.
Yeah.
But
they did not lose recruits because Hugh played golf in no capacity whatsoever.
But you have to be aware when you're in a position like that one. You have to be aware of the perception. And so do you really have to enter your score? If I went and played golf tomorrow,
well, no, that's a good point. Why in the hell are you putting it into the gin? Like, why are you doing that?
Let's just say, I mean, just play along with me. Let's just say that tomorrow I decided that I'm going to take up golf as a hobby, and I start going to play golf wherever I go play.
Sure.
I don't have to enter my score. I don't. No one's going to come get me.
No, you don't.
Am I right?
No, you're 100% correct.
I could play golf for the next 20 years of my life. I could play 100 rounds a year and never enter my scores. That'd be 2,000 rounds of golf. And no one's going to come arrest me. The golf police are not coming to get me. Am I correct?
I'm very certain of that, yes.
So he's entering that golf score because he wants you to know he played golf. All he had to do was not enter the score. No one would have been able to write the story about how many rounds of golf that he played.
And apparently he's done all of them. Like, he puts everything up.
Yeah, so it's just dumb. And then this, you're answering a question. Everyone knows that in the SEC, you have to have big physical players who can run fast. That's not secretive. That is not revelatory. Anybody knows that. The more of them that you have, the better chance you have of winning. We talked about, you said this the other day after the the first Ole Miss practice that, they look great in shorts and helmets, but in fairness, probably most SEC teams look great playing flag football. And that's true. It's not a negative comment. It's just that it's obvious. If you were to take any SEC team, I don't care, pick one, against a MAC team, and you looked at them on the field playing two-hand touch, the SEC team is going to look superior.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. He gets asked a question about this, and it's just such an interesting word. It almost feels intentional. I mean, Hugh Freeze is my age. That's just not a word that is used in any vernacular other than that. And had
Andre,
he stopped,
thanks for the super chat. Says, is it because Freeze just can't read the room? I mean, if so, then they have an even larger problem than they realize, because that is not that's a kindergarten room to read. So you're incapable as an SEC head coach if that is the answer and the response.
I mean, I'm trying to had he stopped and said, hey, that was a stupid use of word, or had he stopped and made his own joke and went, that's what she said, I know.
Yeah, okay, fine.
He would have defused it. Instead, it's like, okay, well, now everyone's going to make fun of it. And now it's part of the making fun narrative if they don't win.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeding the beast. Now, if they win.
Ole Miss got beat by Baylor. They just didn't have enough girth. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, I mean, I
it's a good day to be Kevin Skarbinski or whoever's over there now.
Oh, I mean, Casagrande had fun with it. I mean, it's pretty easy to
get there.
I mean,
Yeah. I get it. All right. It's time to worry about him. I mean, Sammy put in the thing, Baylor 24, Auburn 10. If so, combust everything. Peace.
Ooh.
Over.
Yeah, that would you could start singing the song.
Yeah. The deck chairs would be set. So
look, I mean, there's a world where they lose to Baylor and Oklahoma by September the 20th, it's basically done.
Mm-hmm.
If they lose to Baylor, it's really hard for them to get where we're talking about.
It is.
I mean, I'm not saying it can't be done, but it would be difficult. It would be difficult to find a path out of that was salvageable, that was satisfactory to where he would get more time.
Yeah.
Especially, he hasn't beaten Georgia yet. He hasn't beaten Alabama yet. Came really close. God almighty, came close. That would have been a game-changing deal. But they didn't. And like I said, I'm being repetitive here, but let's just say that the bulk of the national media is right, and Georgia and Alabama both make the playoff. They're 2 of the 12 teams in the playoffs. I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying. Let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, that they're right, and that Georgia makes the playoffs, and that Alabama makes the playoffs. Unless Auburn is in the playoffs also, or in the conversation until the very end,
mm-hmm.
I don't think that's salvageable. I just think they move on. I just think they start looking around and they say, we're going to hire whoever. I don't know whoever would be.
Yeah. Andre, thanks for the super chat. I'll get to it after the break. We'll come back. We'll finish up that, and then we'll move on. First, let me tell you about Northeast Spark, the fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available. Whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends, they offer both residential and business packages with speeds up to 2 gigabits. That's up from 1 gigabit previously. To learn more, register for service. It's nespark.com. That includes even if they're not in your current area. Go there, register. Maybe you're the straw that puts them in your area. They have to have a certain number of houses. So follow through even if they are not currently there for you, but they're in a ton of places, including outside Lafayette County. So again, that's nespark.com. Get connected. Stay local.
Brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great people, products, and services. It's hot outside. It's going to stay hot. We still got to get through August. Hell, September's hot. If your AC is acting funny, don't wait. Get in touch now with the people at Comer or Southern. If you're in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, those areas, call Comer, 662-801-1777. If you're in Memphis, South Haven, Hernando, Olive Branch, get in touch with our friends at Southern, 662-429-4429. You'll get absolutely incredible customer service. Maybe you just need some Freon. Maybe something just needs to be tuned up. Maybe you're almost in trouble. Whatever it is, they'll tell you. They're not going to tell you something's worse than it is. They're not going to lie to you. They're going to take great care of you. So get in touch with them. Don't wait till your AC stops. That's not smart in this weather. So if you have a problem, get in touch with our friends at Comer and Southern. Oxford locals, Ole Miss families, if you need dry cleaning or laundry done right, Lapel's Dry Cleaning has you covered. Proudly serving the Oxford community since 2016, Lapel's takes care of everything from suits and formal dresses to comforters and everyday laundry. Even better, they offer free pickup and delivery to make life easier. Just call 662-638-3149 to be added to the pickup and delivery route, or visit them at 3010 Old Taylor Road, just across from the Mark Condominiums. Mention MPW, get 50% off your first order. Trust Lapels to keep you looking your best. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Seago Wealth Management, specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. So whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting. See what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. And we're brought to you by Arnett's Fine Jewelry. It's a fourth-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons Jewelry Building on North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They pretty much offer everything you could want. If you're shopping for jewelry, if you need your jewelry repaired, if you need your jewelry appraised, the people at Arnett's can take great care of you. It's also super for gifts, birthdays, graduations, anniversaries, push presents, and more. They've got everything you're looking for: flexible bangles, diamond pendants, earrings, everything else. At Arnett's, they want to be your jeweler.
Podcast was brought to you by New Albany Pharmacy and Solutions, New Look website. That's newalbanypharmacy.com, 140 Fairfield Drive in New Albany. You can contact them at 662-539-7777. It's a family-owned pharmacy with excellent service, wide range of gifts for all ages, home decor, jewelry, lots of stuff there. Quick pickup if you're in the area. They got multiple drive-through lanes to take care of you as quickly as possible. Tell me you heard about them from MPW Digital, 15% off any non-medical purchase. So again, that's in New Albany, newalbanypharmacy.com, 662-539-7777. Andre says Jeffrey called this a long time ago. Houston and Hugh, same person, just packaged differently. There's a lot there.
There's a lot there. It's an interesting comparison. Let me think. Houston was more paranoid than Hugh.
At his best, Hugh's a better football coach.
Yeah. And the funny thing about Hugh, and I've had this conversation with people, is Hugh's a really likable guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even and there were times, especially in 2016 and early in 2017, where I had every personal excuse to hate him. I mean, I really did. I'm not going to get into all of it, but I did. And he was hard to hate. He was hard to hate. Even, that Sunday morning I went into his office. It was after my birthday, and he was fully paranoid at that point. And he had the Christian music blaring and stuff. And it was like, what are we doing? Let's just have this conversation. Even then, it was a very likable person. Just seems to get in his own way a lot.
No, in a lot of ways, I agree with you. I mean this. It's sad in a lot of ways. It's a guy who was really good in that 12 season and let popularity and fame and celebrity go to his head, struggle to come out of it, struggle at times to understand place in life. Probably would have been happiest to stay at Liberty,
No,
outcoach the hell out of teams in that league, and make a lot of money and live up on the hill of the side of the mountain and the whole deal.
no doubt. Oh, I mean, would have, but he always, and look, a lot of us get this. This is
Yeah. It's human.
it's
It's not Freeze.
it's wanderlust a little bit, you know. I mean, when he was at Ole Miss and had everything going and everyone worshipped him. I mean, the Florida thing that went a long way, and then probably when it had gotten to a place where he probably should have just taken it, he couldn't. The Ole Miss thing, the Mississippi thing in him kicked in, and he couldn't make a good business decision. And then the scandal happens. He goes to Liberty. I mean, lands on his feet, does really, really well there. There's unquestionable that he did an excellent job as the head coach at Liberty and could have probably just stayed there forever.
Mm-hmm.
But the lure of those big SEC jobs, I mean, I can remember, I won't name names, but I can remember a pretty prominent person the week of that happening where, not to get into the debate about how close Lane Kiffin was or wasn't to going to Auburn. Whatever you want to think it. It's fine. I'm kind of done litigating that. It's not worth it personally. Someone said, do you think Ole Miss would hire Hugh back? And I said, no chance. They didn't fight. They're like, I just wondered what you thought. I was like, no, there's no way. But even in that world, I mean, can you imagine a world where Lane Kiffin were to have left? Let's just say Lane Kiffin left. Okay, let's go down the road again. Everybody, deep breath. He didn't. You know that already. Let's pretend that he did. Lane Kiffin on that Friday after the Egg Bowl leaves to go to Auburn. All of a sudden, Hugh Freeze is lobbying for the Ole Miss job. Can you imagine what a mess that would have been? And what a car crash look for him? Wait a minute. This place that you left in absolute personal shame, you want to come back as the head coach and answer all of that and have all those jokes pop back up again? When you're at a place where you're adored, you don't have to answer to that stuff, and you're in a league or in a situation where typically you're the best coach on the field?
Well, I mean, Neil, the day that he was fired, the reason it took so long to have the thing that night, I mean, Ross told me in the bathroom that night, was they couldn't get him to resign. He said, if y'all just back me here. And he knew everything that was in the records. He knew what had gotten out. He understood what the media probably was going to end up finding, how many he had not blacked out, the entire thing, and said, if we just let it, it'll blow over. And I'm like, no. So,
Yeah,
Arkansas hired Bobby back.
But it's really different, though, if you think about it, because Bobby left for a long time.
And he didn't come back as the head coach.
He came back as the offensive coordinator, and he also came back with a lot of contrition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bobby Petrino went to the Little Rock. Was it Little Rock Touchdown Club? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And, let's go down that road. Because this is the stuff that I don't think Freeze ever would have really fully done. I know Freeze came back and coached Liberty at Ole Miss, but I don't remember what all he said or didn't say. Bobby Petrino coached at Arkansas against Arkansas with Missouri State. And was incredibly complimentary and apologetic and all of that. And then I think it was that same offseason, went to the Little Rock Touchdown Club as a guest and tearfully apologized. Was very human. I made a terrible mistake. It's something that I've regretted. The Arkansas people were great to me, and I let them down. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know that Hughes really was going to do that. And so it wasn't – I get where Andre's going. It's kind of different. And again, Petrino didn't come back as the head coach. insert joke here about he might finish the season as the head coach, etc. But he didn't come back as the head coach. He kind of came back hat in hand. I don't know enough about the dynamics there to tell you whether that was a smart decision on their part or not. I don't know. But
September 9th, 2019, Petrino started his. It was a lot of comments. This was not the all by any stretch, but he began his speech with, "I wanted to be able to come here and apologize to everybody, the fans, the players, and truly tell you how sorry I am for the way it ended. But I also wanted to come here and thank you for everything the people in this room and this state did for me and my family. You were great to us. The hardest thing was not to be able to see the players and talk with the players, guys who truly made a total commitment to our team." Again, it went further, but that was the
and
start
he
to
did, and he
his
was in
statement.
tears. He was in tears doing that. He was emotional. It was obvious that it was genuine. Again, I'm not saying. I mean, thank God people get second chances in our world. I mean,
Sure.
he made a terrible mistake. He owned it. My God, Hugh did too. And I don't think Hugh should be held accountable for that's not the right word. I don't think it should constantly be used against him.
No, I don't either.
But, I mean, the reason that whole week is the reason that you see the jabs from Kiffin toward Freeze, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think I agree with you. Yeah.
Lane would have to look me in the eye and tell me that's not it. And he'd have to talk. Even then, I'd be like, come on now. I mean, I know a lot about what happened that week. And that was Hugh lobbying behind the scenes to either get the Auburn job or, in my opinion, position himself to make another run at the Ole Miss job if Lane left for Auburn.
To force a Lane Kiffin decision in that moment, yes.
Yeah.
Or an Auburn decision in that moment. So,
because I don't think on that Monday Lane was ready to make an announcement.
No, he wasn't, for sure.
Because they lost that game to Mississippi State. And the first question I asked it was, do you expect to be the head coach at Ole Miss next season? And he said yes. Because at that point, I think he had made his decision because the decision had been forced. It is my opinion that going into that week, the internal schedule was, we'll get through this game and then make a decision.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I think that Monday night John Sokoloff story, which wasn't incredibly well written, but it was really well sourced.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it sped the timeline up dramatically, and I think Freeze is one of the people that was blamed.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably justifiably.
So switching a little bit, I led the description for today's podcast with this. Some numbers have come out on Ole Miss Athletics Director Keith Carter's new contract for the Rebels, citing college AD here. To the best of my knowledge, nobody has filed an FOI for his contract details, and I certainly did not think to do that. Didn't really find it necessary, but I did find the numbers this morning. So here they are. Keith Carter, who Ole Miss announced that contract extension on July 10th, a 4-year deal running through 2029. His new contract, previously 1.1 million annually, was his pay. Now that is up to a total of $1.5 million. That is coming in the form of a base salary of 1.274501, very precise there, with a supplemental income structure coming from the foundation of 225,499. Those two numbers combining for, as even I can do that math, $1.5 million coming there. So 1.5 from 101, $400,000 raise for Keith. New 4-year contract that will automatically roll over each year, barring someone stopping it from rolling over. His main bonus structure is the Learfield Cup standings. Ole Miss coming off a 27th place finish in that this season. They have 3 top 27 finishes since 2021, including a 21 finish of, I think, 20th, which is the best in program history. Prior to Keith's tenure, they'd only had 2 top 40 finishes ever in that. You got to remember, Ole Miss is at a big disadvantage in the Learfield Cup from a ceiling standpoint because they simply don't play many sports. A lot of the top 15, 20 teams in that are the Texas and Stanford and Floridas of the world that play everything, and that allows you
Yeah.
to accumulate points. Ole Miss was able to get into the postseason in all but 2 sports this past year. Soccer did not make it, and men's tennis did not make it. They made a change in men's tennis. Jake Jacoby has been signing players this week, the first 2 players he signed during his tenure at the former Mississippi State assistant. As far as where this stands inside the league, I don't know exactly. It's still well below the top couple. Tennessee's Danny White has a base salary of $2.75 million, and Chris Del Conte Texas has a salary of $2.32 million. I looked up Zach Selman a minute ago at Mississippi State, and his salary is 1.25. So Keith is $250,000 higher than Selman at Mississippi
What
State.
was Joe Castiglione at Oklahoma, or what is he right now?
Let's find out real quick. I'm sure that's one that we can find quickly. If they decide to fire Keith, which I don't know how in the hell that would ever happen, they have to pay him the remainder of his contract. Keith can leave whenever he wants without paying anything. If Keith Carter jumps to another AD job in the SEC, you might as well sew my head to the carpet. So I'm not real concerned with that.
Clark, I wouldn't be more surprised.
I mean, seriously. I mean, okay, sure.
It's Eddie. Eddie, I couldn't. I wouldn't be more surprised if I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet.
It looks like Oklahoma buries his contract behind the foundation and won't tell you because they only list the school side, which is $450,000.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to find it, but I can't find it.
Yeah, I would. I don't know that you could shock me more if you.
You get a call tomorrow and go, "Hey, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Keith Carter's leaving for Missouri," and you go, "Hold on a minute."
Yeah, well, Keith Carter's replacing Joe Castiglione in Oklahoma. I'd say I'm stunned. I mean, it was like the night that Ross left Ole Miss for Texas A&M. I wasn't remotely stunned. I was just, yeah, I mean, okay, happens.
I didn't see Ross at media day, but I wasn't there on the A&M day.
Well, they weren't joining a new league.
It's true.
Or Texas wasn't joining.
Their rival was not joining a new league. Actually, is what you meant to say.
Yeah,
there.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah, there was.
No, look. If anything, Keith is underpaid, given what that job details right now, given everything that has to do with that since COVID and the portal and everything involved in where Ole Miss is in the national landscape. Not just in football, which is what drives the train. I understand that completely, but they've got the 3 double-digit win seasons since 2021 in football. Men's and women's basketball both made the Sweet 16. College, in baseball, they have a national title from 22. They had the women's golf title from 21. They had 4 individual national champions this past year. Volleyball won its first ever NCAA tournament match. It's really up and down the board what they've done compared to any other time in the modern era. And that's because of a lot of people, but Keith is at the top of that list. Glenn Boyce has given him a lot of ability to make those decisions and supported his decisions. And look, we've written it. It was the story that I wrote on my first day at 24/7 Sports. The combination of Keith and Glenn and what that has meant for Ole Miss literally cannot be understated at this point.
Yeah, can't be overstated. You could understate.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
He's understated. Yes. Yeah. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job.
For a guy that when he was hired was a difficult position. You're right there at the end. You've been the interim after Ross for 6 months. To anybody, it was easy to call it a nepotism hire. It looks like you just went down the hall and grabbed somebody and you went, whoa, what's, because you have, like, the context of this is so relevant to the moment in that this is coming out of the situation where Matt Luke is still your football coach. You're at the end of that era. You're not in COVID and all the stuff yet. And then you paired Matt, which again, no fault of Matt's to his own whatsoever, with Keith, who had been running the foundation for a while and who'd been with the foundation since 2009 and was the former basketball player and the whole deal. And he had a difficult and an important job to convince people that he was capable of the position and it wasn't an quote Ole Miss hire.
Yeah.
And he has done that in spades and did it very quickly.
Well, and
Has
very
not
quick.
been scared of the big decision, has embraced the big decision.
That's what he's done. And someday we'll go back and we'll fully litigate the whole Kiffin decision and all that stuff, because people do the debate about what led to it, regardless of what led to it. I can tell you that it was not popular in some. Boy, there's been some revisionist history on this one too. I mean, wow. I mean, whoppers of revisionist history.
There was a list of folks that weren't on board with Lane Kiffin.
Not only were not on board, were working behind the scenes to prevent it from happening.
Yes.
And it would have been easy because Keith was a new AD at that time. He didn't have a ton of job capital, I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Maybe he had done such a good job in fundraising that he did. I don't know. But he had not been the AD for long, correct?
Oh, God, no, weeks.
Yeah. So, he didn't have a lot of current job resume capital. And so it would have been very easy for him to acquiesce to some of those people and to make a different hire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would have been really easy to do that. And frankly, a lot less complicated than it was, because at the time when you hire Lane Kiffin, you are taking a risk at a place at Ole Miss, frankly. It's my opinion. This is my 18th season on the beat. Before Keith, Ole Miss was kind of risk averse. They made conventional hires. I mean, Houston Nutt was kind of a easy hire at the time. He was an experienced SEC coach. He just beaten the hell out of your guy. His last game at LSU, at Arkansas, was a win over top-ranked LSU. You could kind of sell Houston Nutt. People got behind that. Hugh Freeze was a Mississippi guy, wanted the job, had coached at Ole Miss, was popular with, frankly, the good old boys. I mean, that was a.
Well, frankly, they hadn't made a risk-averse hire. I mean, I guess you could sort of argue Tommy, but even then, you're coming out of probation. You were glad to get him, and you called him Tommy Bowden when you introduced him that day.
I mean, I was actually at the Oxford Eagle when that happened, and Tuberville was the defensive coordinator at Texas A&M. He'd been on the Miami staff. He was in the list of people that you were looking at. He was the most qualified.
Mm-hmm. More than Mike Cavan or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to change some history? I mean, you want to change history? Do a what if? The butterfly?
Yeah, hold it. No, hold it. We got to go to break. I'll come back. Give me that one. I'm actually, it's okay. We don't have a ton of other news today. We'll get to it. So hold that. First, let me tell you, it's been all week about Totsford, Oxford's brand new indoor play space opening this September. Everything from a fun-sized Walk of Champions, where your mini Rebels can march with pride, a mini Grove perfect for pint-sized tailgaters, and even a double-decker bus with a slide for endless adventures. Everything you love about Oxford shrunken down and designed for kids and grandkids to play, socialize, and explore in a safe, air-conditioned or heated environment. Perfect place for the next generation to make memories rain or shine. And right now until Friday, August 1st, tomorrow, big day around here, unique opportunity to become a permanent part of Totsford, offering commemorative bricks for that Walk of Champions. You can customize it for your favorite little one and pave the way for better play in Oxford. So again, that's totsford.com to purchase, TOTSFORD.com.
We're also brought to you by the College Corner. We've got autographed footballs and helmets in stock. We are weeks away from the start of the season. 8 games at Vaught-Hemingway, so you're going to want to have all your different colors. They've got all of that in all of the brands that you know and love. They've got 2 locations in Jackson, a big, very nice one right here in Oxford, right off of Sisk Avenue in the Oxford Commons. Plenty of parking, get you in and out quickly. If you're coming in on that weekend for the Georgia State game, make that a part of your stop. Get all the gear you're looking for. They'll take great care of you at the College Corner, also collegecornerstore.com. We're brought to you by Argent Wealth. Argent, based in Ridgeland, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states. Argent provides detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. At Argent, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. Regardless of your level of wealth, Argent will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan built just for you. It's myargentwealth.com. Brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John's part of Virtuoso, a worldwide network of travel partners that allow him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits, simply not available to other travelers. Get in touch with John, give him some parameters, give him a budget. He'll give you options that you probably won't find on your own. And no, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services, though you can. It's cool if you do. 901-494-3387 or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com.
You got the floor. Go ahead.
All right, so if Ole Miss, after Tommy Tuberville leaves, he leaves on officially on a Friday to take the Auburn job. He coached the Egg Bowl the day before. Mississippi State won to get to Atlanta.
28-6.
Tommy is on a plane the next morning. I was the Auburn beat writer. I'm well aware of all of this. And he takes the Auburn job. I broke that story. I was covering Auburn for the Birmingham Post-Herald.
For any of our new listeners, and we do have a good many because of some of the changeovers, you had been pestering Tommy for a while about this, and then he eventually, after denying it, asked you how he would do there.
Yeah, we eventually talked almost daily for the month of November that year. Not daily, but we talked a lot, and there were several conversations that were long. And he denied it until at one point I said, I can't print the denial anymore because it's not right. And he asked me, how do you think I'll do? Wow, fascinating. It was, and my, I mean, I was, when I got the job at Birmingham, anyway, let's skip me. That's nothing to do with me. On that Friday night, I'm in Birmingham. Auburn's making the announcement official the next morning, late morning, in Auburn. And so I was getting up super early and driving to Auburn to be there. But I spent Friday night back in Birmingham. I covered the Egg Bowl. Well, I didn't really cover the Egg Bowl, but I was in Oxford the night before to ask Tommy Tuberville about the Auburn job on the record. So I'd gotten back to Birmingham. I spent the night in Birmingham on that Friday night. And on that Friday night, I got a call from people that I'd been talking to in coach search stuff who said, I think Ole Miss is about to hire Mike Cavan. And I was like, are you serious?
Mike Cavan at the time was at SMU?
He was at SMU. And I had Mike Cavan's number because I had worked the Auburn coaching search as hard as a human being can work a coaching search. I was obsessed with it. I talked to so many people, and I had Mike Cavan's number, and I called. And he basically confirmed to me that yeah, it's not supposed to be out yet, but yeah.
Okay, a little context here too for people as you're telling this what if story, because this is a fascinating deal when you take it and run it through Ole Miss's modern era, running into Tuberville to Cutcliffe and Eli and the whole deal. Mike Cavan to that point went 37 and 22, fine, but even fell off at Valdosta State in the late 80s into the early 90s. He left Valdosta State at 6-3-1 after 2 5-5s, nothing crazy. And Valdosta was a D2 power back then.
Can I interrupt you real quick? Ole Miss's
Yes.
AD at the time, correct me if I'm wrong, was John Schaefer, who was a big Georgia guy. Mike Cavan is a legend at Georgia.
I think Schaefer had already been hired. I think that's correct. I can confirm, but I'm pretty sure that's correct.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure
no,
I'm right.
was it Schaefer or was it still Pete the first time?
I think it was Schaefer.
Okay. So East Tennessee State, I'll look in a second. East Tennessee State, 92 to 96. He went 10-3 at East Tennessee State in his final year after a 4-7 the year before that. And then at SMU, he had coached at SMU at this point. This is after the 97 season, right?
Yes.
He had only been at SMU 1 year and went 6-5.
No, this was after the 98 season.
5-7. Yeah, you're right. 5-7.
Tommy's
6-5,
first year
5-7. That's it. 6-5, 5-7. That's it.
If Mike Cavan is the coach at Ole Miss that weekend, Eli Manning does not come to Ole Miss. Think of that butterfly.
That's a pretty big. That's a monarch.
I mean, Eli does not. Eli comes to Ole Miss because they hired David Cutcliffe.
John Schaefer was hired June 3rd, 1998.
Yeah, so he was the AD.
Yeah.
Mike Cavan was familiar. He was familiar with him. They'd worked together at Georgia. They knew one another. He was hiring Mike Cavan. And everybody can deny and stuff. 20-something years later, it's fine. What 30 years later, who cares? It's fine. Do what you want to do. I'm not wrong. And I can't say emphatically that Eli Manning wouldn't have come to Ole Miss to play for Mike Cavan, but I feel pretty confident about it. Because one of Tommy Tuberville's concerns at Ole Miss was he wasn't going to get Eli Manning. And he was concerned about how he would be treated in an era after that where he didn't get Eli Manning. Pretty sourced on that one. Eli Manning went on to have a pretty storied career at Ole Miss and is still very much, for those that aren't aware, very much a huge part of fairly modern Ole Miss football history.
I was just scrolling through John Schaefer's press conference from when they announced Tommy leaving and their search for a head coach. It's pretty fascinating from a time capsule standpoint to read his questions and answers here.
Well,
November 28th, 1998.
There was a lot of anger around Ole Miss. They felt like Tommy had lied to them. I don't know if you remember this, but I do. There was Ole Miss had a practice. Tommy had lobbied for an indoor facility.
Correct.
Ole Miss didn't have one. They were dragging their feet pretty slowly, and they practiced outdoors, like in a parking lot or something like that. And a player, I want to say it was Seneca Taylor, but I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember I was not covering Ole Miss, but I was following Ole Miss pretty closely because of the Tuberville thing. I knew what was going on there. One of their players got hurt. I want to say it was him, and Tommy made a thing and was brushing the parking lot with a broom or something. It
was right there at the Turner Center or somewhere over in that area. Yeah, I don't know specifics, but correct.
There was a lot of acrimony that was building up. And there was a belief, whether this is fair or not, I don't know, but there was a belief, at least among some, that Tuberville had gotten too popular and was too big of a name, and that was something that Robert Kayat did not like. I can't speak to the veracity of that. I can just say those were things that I was hearing. And again, my focus at that point was 90-something% on what is Auburn doing, because the people that I'm competing against on that story, I've told the story many times. It was either a Monday night or a Tuesday night of that week. I guess it was a Monday night. Auburn played a home basketball game against BYU, and their football season was over because Auburn had actually finished their football season a week earlier in the Iron Bowl in Birmingham. So there was no football media that week. They didn't qualify for a bowl game. There was nothing to do. And so I drove over from Birmingham to Auburn on that Monday afternoon, late afternoon. And it was back when cell phones were the big phones that had the thing. And if you were on it for any period of time, your ear got like scorching hot. You felt like someone had put a branding iron or something on it. And I can remember just being on that phone forever, and it was hot. I never even went down and sat at my seat at the Auburn game to cover the game. I spent the whole time on phones because I was worried, because the people I was competing against were writing about the Georgia Tech football coach, O'Leary, I think at the time, and other people. And I'm like, man, if I get just mauled on this story, I'm getting fired. And I would have been. I'd been told that emphatically. So I knew that to be the case. And I was kind of a nervous wreck. And I was on that. I was laser focused on what Auburn was doing. So I wasn't really paying a lot of attention to the drama behind the scenes at Ole Miss, other than just hearing that there was a good bit of acrimony.
Mm-hmm. Mike Gavin would have been something. Yeah, Georgia quarterback from 1968 to 1970.
Yeah. And I think he was on Vince Dooley's staff at Georgia.
He was. He coached offensive line or offensive tackles or something along that line.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So, there was a lot of connection there.
John Schaefer's still a talker. I've said this on the podcast. He has been very helpful to me in the past few years. I called him out of the blue a few years ago for something about Bianco, and he will talk as long as you would like him to talk. His son maybe was the coach at Richmond basketball, and he's been around the kids and grandkids, and yeah, he's always willing to tell some stories. So,
because I don't know that. I don't know all the details about the hiring of David Cutcliffe. I didn't cover that. I'd heard Cutcliffe's name a lot at going to Ole Miss. I mean, Ole Miss was not, in case anybody here tried to ever spin it like Ole Miss was completely caught off guard, they were not. There were plenty of people around the Ole Miss program who knew Tommy was leaving, or felt like leaving. Denials aside, because they had gone down they'd started the vetting process on some people, Cutcliffe included.
Correct.
But
and he admitted that in the press conference, actually.
Yeah, I don't know that at that moment though. Yeah, I don't know that early on David Cutcliffe was. I think there was going to have to be some talking him into the gig a little bit. He wanted it, but I think he only wanted it under kind of certain conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had a really good gig at the time at Tennessee, a place that he loved. Very comfortable at Tennessee at the time. They were quite successful.
Yeah. Time is getting on with us. Almost 30 years for some of these decisions. Grind just pointing out that 2004 Auburn team 20-year anniversary.
Yeah, man.
Actually past 20, it was an 04, 24, 25.
Well, along those lines, when the Ryan Sandberg thing this week, Marquee had a show on, they'd gotten and now you look back and you're like, well, thank God you did it, because they'll have it for posterity, but they got the 1984 Cubs team together at the Cubs convention this past January, and got all those guys to talk about that season. And 40 years.
Yeah,
been 40 years. Crazy.
Yeah. We will take our final break, tell you about G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They're delivered locally in the Oxford area and offer medicine. Free prescriptions the same day each month. take care of you. They also are in Holly Springs with Tyson Drugs. So in either location, let them help you out. Switch over from those big box pharmacies. So you know and trust. In Oxford, that's G&M. Again, 662-236-2222.
We're also brought to you by Parrish Brewing Company, where their simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer. I would argue that they do it incredibly well, but you can determine that for yourself. They've got lots of different options. Great IPA called Dr. Juice. It's a highly crushable juice bomb, 6% ABV. If you'd like something a little stronger, get Ghost in the Machine. It's a double IPA, absolutely fantastic, not bitter like a lot of double IPAs. You'll really enjoy it. They also have Envy. It's a pale ale that I think is really underrated. Canebrake. It's a wheat beer. Pescador is kind of a lager with a hint of lime, and so much more. If you see Parrish Brewing Company products at your favorite bar, your favorite restaurant, your favorite grocery store, give them a try. You'll be glad you did. The mailbag will be back soon. When it does return, it's brought to you by my friend Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you as a licensed agent with Sotheby's International Realty and a supporter of all things Ole Miss. Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you, seriously. So call and ask Art how. 612-805-5929, or you can email him, of course, at arthur.hayes, Hays, at lakesmn.com.
You interested in the Hall of Fame game tonight, the first NFL preseason game of the year?
Oh, I mean, I'll turn it on. It's football. I'll turn it on. Am I interested in it? No, but I'll yeah, sure, it's football. I doubt if any starters or known starters play at all. But sure, it's professional football with NFL uniforms, and they'll throw a ball around and stuff. And I mean, I probably won't still be dialed in the fourth quarter, Chase, to answer your question. But yeah,
Canton,
I'll
Ohio,
watch.
Chargers, Lions. I guess Trey Harris might play tonight.
Yeah, I would think Trey would play. Hope he does well. I like Trey a lot. One of my favorite people that I've covered in recent Ole Miss history. I hated the way that his season ended last year because he was trying to get back, and I think he just got hit in the exact wrong place at the exact wrong time, and that was that. And I hated that for him because that was people started doing the he's fragile thing, and it's a physical game. People get hurt.
No, Sammy, I have not written my Topolino's letter. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I wrote a couple things yesterday, but they were a little more time sensitive. So we'll get there. We're still going to put Disney on notice. It's coming. So don't worry.
Cat at Topolino's is about to have a bad day. Oh, it's going to be bad. Just the vitriol and the fire. Written by an award-winning author here. I mean, he's going to light him up. Going to light him up.
This is a fairly incredible thing just from a athletic standpoint. So yeah, the swimming world championships are going on, I think, in Singapore this week. The Americans have had a bunch of gastrointestinal issues, actually. They've really struggled as a team because of stomach viruses there in Singapore.
Want that in the pool?
No. But French swimming star Leon Marchand, he crushed the American Ryan Lochte's 14-year-old 200-meter IM world record. So only 200 meters here on a swim length. I mean, fairly, it's not a sprint, but not that long of a swim. He went 152.69, and for anybody that's at all familiar with running and swimming to understand that just milliseconds is a huge difference, he broke the world record by 1.31 seconds.
Wow.
That's an eternity in swimming.
Yeah. At that level, yeah.
I mean, you're talking milliseconds is significant. 1.31 seconds on his world record. It's crazy.
Wow.
ESPN cut ties with Shannon Sharp yesterday.
Yeah.
So he had not been on air since the situation came about in April.
God, that was pretty predictable.
Felt likely at this point.
You didn't have to be Nostradamus to get that one.
there was something legal or contractually that was waiting on that to be able to take shape at that point. A little bit of SEC administration news here.
Yeah. What we got?
Alabama Associate AD Ellis Ponder stepping down to take a position with Jimmy Sexton at CAA.
Oh,
He had quote become a deputy to Nick Saban by the end of his tenure. So he was Saban's right hand man at Alabama, now leaving for Sexton's staff at CAA. Makes sense.
yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, nothing off on that. You psychopaths that are betting preseason Hall of Fame game football tonight. God bless you. I appreciate you, but
Yeah. Come on. I mean, that you should take a step back and at that point and go, wait a minute, what am I doing?
I feel like there'd be a better chance to bet the Gatorade color during the shower at the end of the Super Bowl. At least that you got some history to back you up.
I was gonna say, even there, you have some trends and things to look at. I mean, you don't know what you're getting tonight.
I guess we'll cover this. I mean, tomorrow we're just going to kind of have a crazy show probably, so we'll see what we end up talking about. But last thing, I'm not familiar with this Gilbert Arenas deal.
I'm laughing at Ginger. She said someone commented on my review that I should have asked for a manager. I'm a white woman in my 40s. If I ask for a manager, I'm immediately called a Karen. 100%. Yeah. Just can't.
No matter what the violation is.
It's great, though. I just laughed out loud. That was, yeah. I mean, she's right. I mean, it could be so egregious right in front of you and everyone saw it. And still, if you say something, you're
Neil,
Karen.
I can't understand. I mean, I can't explain to you the blood pressure increase. When you go, hey, can you check on the drinks real quick? Dude turns around and then grabs the napkins and the forks and starts rolling silverware. And you go, oh my God.
Oh,
I started shaking. I mean, just, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. I'm still pissed. I'm so pissed. I'm going to explain that exact circumstance to the Magic people.
It's crazy world. It really is. It's a crazy world right now.
It is. Braves lost 1-0 yesterday. You shocked? I know I am. That's a problem there.
If I'm them, Acuna doesn't play again this year.
45-62.
Have you followed the story about the hikers in Arkansas?
I asked you about it yesterday. I saw they made an arrest last night.
Laura's pretty obsessed with it, and so I've heard a lot about it. He was a former elementary school teacher in Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
He moved to Springdale trying to get a teaching gig there. Apparently had been dismissed from his job at Oklahoma for doing inappropriate advances or words or whatnot with female elementary school students.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Apparently, the couple that was killed had two young daughters, I think like 8 and 6. I haven't read about all this because, frankly, it just depresses me. But apparently, the mom and the dad, the two people that were killed, fought him. And as they fought him, I'm probably unarmed compared to his armed, would be my guess, told the girls to run, and they were able to run to safety.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts. I mean, it's just, that's awful. I mean, that's just sick. Bless their hearts. I mean, wow, just crazy times, man. It's just a state park where people go hike. It's not that far from like the UA campus, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not a super big hiking person, but I've seen like signs for that Devil's Den State Park or whatever. So I think it's pretty popular. I think a lot of you don't go on a family of 4 hike at a state park thinking, well, this is a
This
dangerous place.
this might be it. Yeah.
You might think, hey, watch out for snakes, or like when I was in Alaska and I went walking, it was kind of like, look out for bears. But you don't think, look out for someone on the trail who's going to kill me. That's probably not what's on your mind.
No. Sickening. So.
Yeah, that's the good word for it. I haven't read about the Gilbert Arenas thing. I saw the headlines, but I haven't read the story.
We'll have time tomorrow. We can figure that one out. Again, podcast sometime tomorrow afternoon, practice viewing in the morning, and then, come over to 24/7 Sports in the morning. A lot of content for you. We'll have a lot of information, stuff ready to go. So appreciate all you guys this morning as always. Good to have a Thursday stream with you. We'll talk to you soon.